Hey folks, I just wanted to quickly show you an awesome new feature of Google Sheets. And basically, this is game changing for anyone who wants to do any sort of group task management right in Google Sheets integrated without any additional plugins or anything like that. And it's super easy, super user friendly, and quite flexible. So this is what it's showing you once you get it set up. You can have a list of tasks that actually line up on a timeline. And a timeline is great for when you have a project where you have lots of different subtasks to figure out, maybe different people working on different things, and you want to track how things are going, and you also want to see what's coming up. Well, this is a great way to do that. Now, how do we do it? How do we get it set up? Basically, you first have to create a regular sheet that has, at the minimum, you want to have the name of the task, a start date, and an end date. You can also add an action person column. You can add a group column. And there's also other columns you can add as well, which are optional. You can add as many columns as you like, and then you tell the sheet which columns refer to what data. Then you basically just select all of the data that you want to use, and you go to insert, sorry, and then you go to timeline, and that creates this result. Now I'm going to do it from scratch just so you can see how to go about this and all the settings. So if you have Sheets open, you can just create a new blank sheet. From there, you could call this the name of your project. Let's say this is a engineering project timeline. And let's say that we are going to be building bridges. So if we're building bridges and we have a timeline for doing that, maybe I'm working in a group with a few different people. Then I'm going to have to make sure I have the following things first as my columns. I need task, start date, end date, action person, and a group or like a organizational group. So let's say the first task is to research bridges, to research bridge designs, because you should probably have that first. Then you probably want to also brainstorm ideas. You might want to schedule a team meeting to decide final idea. Then those are all kind of design related tasks. Then you will want to plan or create a plan of final idea to scale. So they probably want a scale drawing. Then we want to break down the build tasks. So we have build, or maybe we have to like get the materials, gather materials, and then we want to cut materials to size, and then we want to assemble the walls, and then join walls together to make bridge. Okay, so let's say we have, and then after that we have test the bridge, and then we have make improvements. And let's say that we have 1 month to complete all of this. So our start and end dates. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go to format. I'm going to choose number, and I'm going to make this be date. So that way I can actually, it'll automatically format it to dates. You can also do conditional formatting, and you can make it be, or no, I think it's in, there's a way to make it so you have to make it be dates. I think it's data validation. So we have to add rule, and we have to choose is valid date. So then it has to be a date. So now if I double click in here, it gives me a choice of the date. So that's handy for just speeding up this process. So I've set up data validation so that these columns are dates. I also like to format this. There we go. So now we have a start date. So let's say we research. We're going to start researching now, and then it's going to go until, let's say we have 2 days to finish the research. Brainstorming ideas, we're going to say that it starts. We can actually have it happen a bit concurrently. So we're going to brainstorm ideas, and we have until next week to do that. Now the team meeting, that's going to be we have literally 1 week, and then we're going to have a team meeting, and that's just a 1-day team meeting. Now it's green because of the conditional formatting, so I can get rid of the conditional formatting. That's annoying. Then the create a plan, that's going to happen from the meeting day until the, let's say we have 2 days. Then we can also gather the materials at the same time. So we're going to gather the materials, have the materials ready by Friday, and then we're going to start cutting the materials on Friday, and then we're going to assemble the walls on the Monday of the next week. We have 2 days to do that. Join the walls together. That gives us 2 days. Test the bridge is going to happen on 1 day. And then make improvements is the final day. That gives us our deadline of the end of the month. So that's going to be our breakdown. So then I'm going to group these. So this is the design category. So design, 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 design. This is going to be build category, build, 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 build. And then this is going to be test category, test, test. Okay. Well, make improvements, I guess, goes into the build category. From testing. So now I have different categories here. I have my start and end dates. And then I just need to assign an action person. So maybe we have Josh is going to be doing the research, and we're going to have Mateo is going to be doing brainstorming. Everyone is going to be involved in the team meeting. Then we're going to have the plan of the final idea to scale. That's going to be myself. I'll make the plan. Josh is going to gather the materials. Mateo is going to cut the materials, and then I'm going to be assembling the walls, as well as I think we could probably have all of us working on that. So we have 3 of us working on that, and then all 3 of us working on that, all 3 of us testing, and then the making improvements part, probably let's say that Josh is going to be working on that. And then there's going to be one final thing, which is document submit completed design document. And then that's going to be everyone, but maybe we have one person who's in charge of it. So then, and then we might also want to have taking photos. So take photos of build process. So Mateo is going to be in charge of doing that. That's a design task, and that's going to happen during the build. So from the start of gathering materials all the way until the end, that's going to happen throughout. And then submit completed design document. That's going to happen basically, let's say on the 4th, that's when it has to be done, or maybe the Sunday of that weekend. So that's when it's due. And they have, I guess, from the 1st to the 4th to do that. So now I have all these tasks. Now, the other thing you can do is you can assign colors to these, but I'm going to show you what it looks like just like this. So now I've set up this. I go to Insert. I choose Timeline. and then I've selected my rows. I can make it go a bit longer, but it'll give me an error. But if I wanted to add more tasks, it'd be nice to give it some flexibility. So now you can see how it's generated my task list. So here it's broken everything down, and it automatically gives me some suggested things to put in what. So card group, I have to choose a group column for this, which is group. That way it's actually breaking it down and organizing it into different groups here for me. Card detail, so that's actually going to be the action person. So I like to have the action person visible, so you can see the difference if I have no action person versus adding the action person. Now I can see who's responsible for that. Then now the card color, it's also going to be the action person. So I'm going to have a color related to the action person. It tells you it can inherit colors from existing formatting rules. So that's really great. You could also have the color be based on something else like the progress, for example. Like if I wanted to have progress tracking, I could have it like turn more green if I get closer to finishing the task, things like that. But for now, I'm going to just have the color. So like we're going to assign a color for Josh, and we're going to assign, let's say he's green. Mateo is going to be, let's say he's blue. I am going to be orange. And then when we're all together, we're going to have that be, let's say, well, we can keep that be white. So now if I go back, you can see the blue tasks are Mateo's tasks, the yellow tasks or orange tasks are mine, white tasks are for everyone. And here you can kind of see, well, who's doing the most work? Well, it looks like Mateo has to brainstorm ideas, take photos, submit the completed design document. Maybe it makes more sense for me to do that task because then it divides the work more evenly. So I'm going to put myself into this task. So I just copy my name, put it here, and then automatically now it's my job to do this. It just filled it in for me automatically. And that is a living document. You can keep editing, you can keep adding tasks, you can keep tweaking the settings, changing how it looks, changing the grouping, adding different categories. And the other thing is you can share it. So you just share this document with everyone in your team, and then you can all work on this project all at the same time, track your tasks, and hopefully have a more efficient kind of way to manage your project. So that's all I wanted to show you, and hopefully you found this helpful, and that you can start using this technique for making a timeline in your projects for your classes or for your work. So thanks for watching.